Officials await autopsy results in the death of an inmate. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Valone. We'll have that story in a moment. But first, the verdict is in the trial of a former Prince George's County Transit bus driver accused of striking and killing a woman who was legally crossing the street.
Rochelle Metzger was in the courtroom today for the proceedings, and she says it took an unexpected turn. She joins us now to explain.
That's right. Jurors heard extremely graphic testimony from the medical examiner this morning about the extent of the victim's injuries. A state police investigator then took the stand, and the state rested its case. This afternoon, the judge dropped the criminal charges of manslaughter and reckless driving against bus driver Michelle Murray, leaving only minor traffic charges. The judge called the case a tragedy, but said there is a thin line between prosecution and persecution. Murray was accused of running down 69-year-old Patsy Burton in a crosswalk in Upper Marlboro, and she kept going. Prosecutors argued that Murray was talking to a passenger when she made a legal left turn and hit Burton. It happened in July 2014. Her husband sat through the trial and says he's ready to forgive and move on.
I miss her laughter. I miss her cooking. I miss seeing her smiling face. I still forgive Michelle. I know it was an accident. I know she didn't mean to do what she did. And she's got to go on with her life, and I'll just go on with my life.
For presenting its case, the defense challenged the most serious charges, arguing that Murray's actions were not criminal, and the judge agreed. Attorneys tried to then work out a deal on the remaining counts, couldn't, and so the defense opted to move forward with a bench trial. The jury was dismissed. The judge found Murray guilty on charges of negligent driving and failure to use caution to avoid a pedestrian.
31st, 2014, she was a sober driver who obeyed all traffic laws, and she's glad that the outcome that she did end up having within the court system.
The two traffic charges carry a $100 fine and 2 points each. Now, I did talk to the state's attorney's office, which says it's disappointed. Prosecutors felt that they had enough evidence to reach the standards for manslaughter charges, but they respect the judge's decision. Now, these charges, even though she was not found guilty, these charges will remain on Michelle Murray's record permanently. So her defense attorneys asked the judge for what's called a probation before judgment, which would mean that in 3 years she can apply to have those charges expunged from her record. The state's attorney's office opposed that. They say this is a homicide case, someone died. The judge agreed with the state's attorney's office and denied the motion, but he left the door open for the defense attorneys to later file a probation before judgment, and said down the line he may hear their appeal again.
All right, a lot going on there. Thank you, Rochelle. Well, an investigation is underway following the death of an inmate at the Prince George's County Prison. But as Byron Scott reports, foul play is not suspected.
This incident occurred last night just before 6 o'clock. We are told that an inmate who was housed in the medical unit here at the prison was standing in line waiting to take a shower when he collapsed. Now, the medical staff here at the hospital, paramedics, did perform CPR on that individual, but he was pronounced dead. Now, we did speak with prison officials, and here's what they told us.
Of course, we're following procedures. The police department, the Prince George's County Police Homicide Unit, they will continue the investigation, just to alleviate any, any concerns of the public, to make sure, that we follow all procedures as we would in any other death. Well, this gentleman was 43 years old. We didn't have one single problem out of him since he's been here. And because our job is to protect the individuals who are here, it's sad anytime a life is lost. And our officers and the medical staff, they work nonstop to try and revive the gentleman. And so we bring our CISM counselors in, our crisis intervention stress management team in to talk to those officers, also to talk to the other inmates who were in there with the gentleman, to make sure that they're able to cope with what they saw and what happened last night.
As for the inmate, he was in the medical unit here at the prison, not because of health issues, but because of his size. They say he weighed in excess of 450 pounds. Now, he had been here at the prison since August 30th on a weapon and drug charge. Now, as for what's next in the investigation, police are involved in the investigation here at the prison, but there will be an autopsy performed in Baltimore Baltimore, but as of right now, preliminarily, they say he died of natural causes. At the Department of Corrections, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Thank you for that report, Byron. Police have identified the man arrested in connection with a robbery and shooting in College Park. On Tuesday, authorities say this man, 24-year-old Jamal Green, and another suspect attempted to steal 3 safes from the College Park Marriott and Conference Center. A security guard was shot in the process and is still in the hospital. Green is charged with first and second-degree attempted murder, along with second-degree burglary and reckless endangerment. Police are still looking for the second suspect. Anyone with information is asked to call authorities at 301-405-3555. The reports are in on the first 3 surges of Metro Safe Track, and it turns out the feds are concerned with the quality of the work. According to the Washington Post, reports filed by the Federal Transit Administration indicate recurrent concerns with how ambitious the maintenance is being pushed. Inspectors found loose fasteners and other track-related issues in areas where repair work was recently performed. Federal inspectors did note significant progress had been made in replacing interlockings where trains cross from one set of tracks to another. Well, you are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Up next.